Okay, so in this video what I want to go over is a few pitfalls and challenges you might face if you're the shorter fighter, the peekaboo style fighter, trying to get in on the taller opponent. And a few ways that you can deal with them or be aware of them. Half the time, awareness is really the solution to your problem. Awareness of what your problem is, and then going and training to fix it. In boxing, I don't really believe in tricks. It's usually dedication and effort over the long haul that's going to create good habits. So that's what I'm always trying to preach. But there are things that you can notice right away and then start making those changes right away in your training and see results within a week. Okay, a few things. First thing that happens a lot when you're fighting the taller opponent is you're moving your head around, shots are coming at you. Now, since it's not a video game, these shots are grazing you, especially if you're going to throw the right hand. Let's say you throw the right hand at me right now, I slip, that forearm has grazed my head, that arm is blocking my field of view. Unless I'm going for the body, which I don't always want to go for. If I'm up here, remember, it's a taller opponent punching down on me. It's not some guy here. If it's here, a guy shorter or my height, I can play with it a little bit better. Taller opponents punching down on you, usually you have to clear those shots. Okay, it's hard to just do this little slippy stuff. So the right hand comes, boom, I've lost my field of vision. Left hook comes, maybe it grazes me. As you're moving around, moving your head around, especially if you're moving it a lot and punches are flying, it's easy to lose sight of where he is. It's easy to look at the ground, look over there, see the side of his body. You know, you might be right at his lower chest level. And if you want to go for the head, you have no idea where it is. And this is the challenging part. So the first thing is that you may get into a situation where you're really not looking at anything. It's not that you're really looking at the ground, but you really are kind of just thinking about avoiding punches and you're really not focused on anything. So the number one rule is your mentality has to always be that your mind and your eyes are on the target that you want to hit, as opposed to your mind being on the attacks you want to avoid. When I'm fighting someone, I'm thinking about where I want to hit. And these punches are inconsequential. I may be dealing with them in a number of ways, but I'm more concerned about where I want to hit than what's coming at me. And this type of mentality is going to allow you to naturally gravitate to where it is that you want to hit. I prefer eyes right here, upper chest and neck, but that means I can still see the head relatively easily. As punches are firing, and work on this in sparring, even if you let guys throw a few extra punches, keep your mind on what's going on. You'll let guys get inside the pocket. Work your head movement and keep your mind on what's going on. Now, when it comes to punching, unless you know you've got the guy, it's more important to land a good, clean, quality shot on his face than to think about trying to throw your biggest, baddest shot. So if I'm slipping outside, I'd rather this than this. Okay? Often when you're loading like that, it's easy to miss. You're slow when you load up. Here, okay, I'm looking for clean shots as opposed to, okay? Now there isn't a rule for every situation, so there may be a time when loading up is the best. But what tends to happen, as you move your head furiously around and you want to get that big bad shot, you have a tendency to get all over the place, okay, and lose your balance. So when guys are throwing punches at you, you have your mind on where you want to hit, okay? Don't get your mind and your sights off of that. You don't want to be looking at the ground, looking all around. You want to land leather on his face. That's priority number one. Touch him. The big shots are going to come. If you've been training hard, training effectively, any shot that lands on him is going to be a good shot. It's all about what you're doing in training. So that's number one for head movement. Number 2, I'll step back here to do it. This is something that you have to feel rather than see, and it happens every now and then. If I'm in the pocket, if I'm in close, and I'm here, moving and throwing, it's very easy for your balance to shift from all this movement. It's very easy for your balance to shift from being on the balls of your feet, where you're mobile, to having it go to your heel, especially on this front foot. You'll be here, and you won't have anything on it. And this happens just from being in the action. Punching, head movement, and all of a sudden the balance is on your heel. And you're falling back this way, or you have no leverage coming in this way. So this is something that you have to practice just by feel and working on your balance. In your shadow boxing, in your bag work, be aware of the balance on the balls of your feet so that you're always mobile. And even when you're in the pocket, moving your head, you don't get caught with the weight on the heel. You won't necessarily fall back, but you won't have the same leverage you do when the weight is on the balls of the feet. Okay, so those are just a couple pointers on how to make your head movement more effective, especially when in the heat of the action, and how to make the most of your counterattacks while fire is coming at you and you're trying to get on the inside and land on this guy. Number 1, be aware of your balance, good balance, because you're putting yourself into range from the taller opponent. He would love to keep you out there, but you got to get in there to hit him, and so he's going to be banging away at you sometimes, and you got to keep your balance and wait for your shot. Number 2, when you're moving your head around, you can't get distracted or flustered by the fire that's coming at you. You got to keep your eyes on the prize. You got to keep your mind on your target and try to get a good, clean, efficient shot. Touch leather on his face. Don't worry about the big shots all the time. When you've got the guy in trouble, then you can go for the big shots. But make sure you touch him clean. You're going to see that it's going to have an effect, and keep working on that, and that's going to have more effect throughout the rounds. All right, hope this helps. Peace, guys.